So the next thing I'm going to have to cover in this air conditioning install, I'm going to start tackling that heater box. I'm going to pull it out, and after I pull it out, I'm going to start working on the interior of the car, which is something that I need to do in order to figure out where I want to route the positive and negative cables that I'm going to be implementing, because I want the battery in the trunk. And also I have to modify this heater delete plate, because I'm gonna have to drill some holes. The kit requires that I use this, and so this is supposed to cover the hole, which I will show you once I get it all apart. Out with the old and in with the new. So there's the original heater assembly with the heater core, the big block heater core, and the heater box. And here is the covers that I removed, and you can see that the new cover is right next to it. And so they look exactly alike, and that's what's going to be covering up that big gaping hole. Now the kit came with this plate, and now that you're looking at the plate and you can see the hole, this plate goes on the inside of the dashboard. So it will be up against this side of the panel, not on this side. And so what's going to happen is all of this is going to show. I mean, the look I wanted was nice and clean, and having a black plate here, or even a red plate if I decided to paint it, and then having these lips and these big holes, I really didn't like. So that plate will cover it up nicely, and it'll look a lot cleaner. So that's why I got the plate. Now you can see. Now as far as the heater hoses and the Freon hoses, let me show you down here. They're all coming out of that hole, and the kit calls that we use this stuff, this thing here. And what you're supposed to do is put silicone on the back side and attach it to the panel like so, and then there's a bolt that goes in here and a bracket in the back to hold it up against the panel, and then the hoses will come out of here. Now because I'm getting a whole heater delete plate and includes this portion, well, I won't be using this. The kit also comes with grommets that goes in here, so I'm going to have to drill these 4 holes onto that heater delete plate, and I need to get this alignment to be able to do so correctly. So that's one of the tasks I have to do. But before this unit can go under the dashboard, everything had to come apart. Everything. The entire dashboard had to be stripped. So I took off the steering wheel, the actual speedometer cluster, everything that was on there, and everything that's behind here as far as the vents, and replace it with the new vents that came with the system, with the kit. So there's the new vent, and you can see the ugliness on the top. That is my foam that's up there. This right here, that's just foam, and I put that on there so that I get a nice seal up against the top of the dashboard. And then when you put these, you have to make new holes, and in the old holes I just covered it with this foam seal, and I did that on both sides. So you can see there's the other vent, the new one. And then on the other side of the panel, I siliconed it. I'll show you that here. I just covered it up with silicone. You can see there's two. The original hole, which is on this side, and then the new hole, which is this side. Now with the new one, I didn't use the screw that was in the kit. I used my own nut and bolt. So that way I have the head of the bolt on this side and a nut on the inside of the car. And that was because I wanted to smear this silicone on the top right there to seal it against any water when it rains. Later on, after it fully dries, I'll just clean all this up as far as all the dust, and then repaint it with my satin black, so that way it's completely hidden. You're not going to see it anyway because, well, it's high up under the cowl. But I'll have a totally sealed unit right there. And as far as that foam, there's the foam that I used. Now to get the marks for this panel so that I can drill the 4 holes, what I did was I installed it on the car fully. And you can see that that hole is what I need to transfer onto the panel. So what I did was I took a magic marker and stuck my hand in there all the way till I got to the hole. And once I felt the hole, I took the magic marker and scribed a line all the way around. Just kept making circles. So that way that actual hole will be transferred onto the panel. And so then, after I got the mark on the panel, what I did was I figured out what was center. So I took measurements across, made a mark, and then across this way. That way I find the center point for that large hole. Then this piece that came with the kit already has a hole in the center. So all I had to do was line up my center point with that hole, and then I was able to transfer my marks to get the 4 holes that I'm going to be drilling for the hoses. Now as far as making the hole, the largest bit I have is 1/2 inch. And obviously that's a lot bigger than 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 1/2 inch hole, and because I already have the marks, what I'm going to then do, where is it? I'm going to take my Dremel, my trusty Dremel, and a carbide bit, and I'm going to eat away at the metal until I get to that size hole. And once I'm done with the hole, I'll deburr it, and the kit comes with a whole bunch of grommets, and all I gotta do is just put the grommets in and it's good to go. So that's the plan to get it all settled, and that's what I'm going to do, and once I get it installed I'll touch back. So here it is. Made my 4 holes and put my 4 grommets, and I just put tape here to protect it because there's a transmission motor line that comes down here and I don't want to scratch it as I install it, so that's why that's there. But on the other side of this, instead of putting silicone, I just put my my foam. So I got my foam on there, and that's to seal it. And on the inside panel I did the same thing, put my foam so that way it's sealed up against the firewall, and I won't have to worry about 1, vibrations or metal to metal contact, and 2, sealing against everything from the engine bay, heat, water, whatever it may be. So now I'm going to install it and we'll see how it goes. So there it is, installed. Now it's nice and flat, nice and clean looking, and that doesn't have a bolt because that's where the air conditioning unit gets bolted to, so it comes from the inside out. And my wires are there, they're not touching anything, nice and free, just like the other side. And we'll take a look at the bottom here. There it is. Those 4 grommets is where the 4 hoses will be coming out. And I plan on running them along the fender here, and then I have a couple holes here. I think these are for the radiator overflow bottle, but right here in this area between the radiator overflow bottle, I'm going to probably put some brackets or something to hold all the hoses up against the fender here, because the radiator overflow bottle will cover up any screws I put here. But there it is, nicely installed. And I must confess that I did polish that heater delete plate as I was doing my work on it, because I had to enlarge the holes, I had to do a couple things, plus cut out for those grommets. I gave it a little bit of a scratch, and so what I did was I just hit it with 2000 grit, got the scratch out, and while I was at it, got all the little dirt nibs out of it. So now it looks beautiful. So now I'll show you the inside, what it looks like. So there's that black panel that had to go. Now there's a hole here for the wiring for the unit, but I'm not going to use that since I already have a hole with a grommet here for a wire. I'll most likely use that one instead and then just cover up that hole, because I don't want on the other side of the panel, this whole area shows. Beyond this area is behind the fender, so I don't want any wires going right through the heater delete plate. I mean, that's the whole reason why I put this one here in the first place originally, so that I can get the heater wire that was attached to the old fan. I wanted it to go under the fender and hidden away. So I'll probably be doing the same thing. But there it is. In the corner here, I had to give it a little massaging, but other than that, it pretty much went in. And then because I used the heater delete plate, the heater delete plate had an extra hole to cover up these big holes that were here from the old heater unit. So I had to drill a hole that matches the heater delete plate, and then I just basically bolted it so that it's all bolted in. So that's pretty much it. That's the whole unit. So now right here on the side is where the hoses will come out and into the unit, and of course they'll go up there into the grommets, which are up there. I don't think we can see. Yeah, you can see where the grommets are up there. So that's where all the hoses will go through. But I will start to do that in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.